Hey everybody, it's time for Mental Health Monday. So, this is November 2021's Mental Health Monday. And like all Mental Health Mondays, this is just peer support. I do not have a degree or certificate or anything to do with mental health, mental illness, mental issues whatsoever. I just have my own and I share what I'm going through to let you know that you're not alone in this journey. So this month's Mental Health Monday comes in my robe, and it's coming from me being sick for the last few days. I don't know if this counts as mental health peer support or just general peer support because this is probably something everybody struggles with. I know I've been struggling with it lately, and it doesn't take much, but sometimes you need a little reminder. Sometimes you need a little nudge. So it's just about goals, really. I know for me, I struggle with my goal list. It's constantly changing because my goals are constantly changing, because my life is constantly changing. My needs and wants and desires are constantly changing. Sometimes that gets frustrating. Sometimes I have to rearrange the list because things become more of a priority or more important, and some things just aren't as important as I thought they would be. And sometimes they're just not goals that I want anymore. So I have to do big adjustments constantly. And I think as I've been trying to find work, which I'm hoping I'm starting a position soon, I'm still waiting for details on that position. As I'm looking for work and as I'm thinking of what things I want to accomplish for goals long term, what do I want to be doing the next 6 months? What do I want to be doing in a year? What do I want to be doing in 2 years? What do I want to be doing in 3 years and past that? So the list is ever evolving and changing. And I think sometimes that can affect my mental health sometimes because I am already suffering with anxiety. I am an unmedicated bipolar 2 disorder, depression and anxiety diagnosis. So while I was medicated for several years, I did go off my meds as I came into van life back in 2015. So I completely went off my meds in 2017 when I was getting ready to hit the road. I was seeing a psychiatrist during that time, so it was done with doctor's consent and with a doctor watching me and maintaining, a weekly talk therapy. So I kind of feel like once I get back into the workforce, one of the first things I'm going to be spending money on is getting into some kind of therapy. But I don't think I need to be medicated. I haven't hit that plateau or that height of needing medication. I don't think I'm there. I have had a couple of manic. So for me, with my bipolar 2, my manic presents itself in increased anxiety and insomnia and excess energy, kind of like Energizer Bunny, cleaning constantly. And I did have a little bit of manic this summer. And that usually stress brings on manic for me. So I have been stressing a lot, which I think is why I haven't been feeling well the last few days. I think it was brought on by stress as well. And it's not that my stress is because of something bad happening. My stress is brought on by a lot of uncertainty in my life. And for me, that's probably the worst thing possible. When you have anxiety, it is to have so many things that you can't finish or see finished or see an end to, and to have so many things up in the air. It's fine when one or two things, don't have like, okay, well, I know this will be finished here. I know there's an end date for this. I know that I can fix this problem, blah, 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 blah. One or two things, but when your whole life is, to coin Will Smith, flipped upside down, Fresh Prince. And it's not that it's bad. It's not that I'm upset about it. These are decisions that I made. However, there's so many things happening right now that are changing evolving and uncertain that it's got my anxiety so increased that it's been difficult to make decisions. It's been difficult. I've almost been anxious about things not happening, but so anxious that I can't do anything. Like I'm frozen. So it's this weird limbo of sorts to be in, and it's hard to explain it to people. It's hard to make someone understand it. I've also been to the point where I don't want to do anything, and I'm almost experiencing anxiety to the point of I don't really want to leave the house, but I do want to get out of the house, type thing. So it's almost this push-pull anxiety, push-pull, and you're stuck because you can't really do anything. You're just in this constant push-pull, push-pull. I want this, but I'm kind of don't know what to do to make it happen. And if it does happen, then what? Like I'm thinking way too many steps ahead. And I'm coming up with way too many what ifs. So it's kind of like, well, if I don't do it, then I can just stay right here and everything will be just fine. But not really. But maybe, kind of thing. So my goals have been changing because of that. Priorities have been changing. And I'm kind of in this holding stuck pattern of life. Well, what if I don't do this? And what if I do this? But what if I should have did this kind of thing? So I'm going over my... That was the dryer. And I'm not going to edit it out. So goals lists have been changing. Priorities have been changing. I'm trying to ride the anxiety wave and talk myself down from some of the things that I'm anxious about that I really don't need to be anxious about. But just being me, I'm anxious about them anyway. So I was going over my goals list recently. That's why this Mental Health Monday is about that. So I've decided to make my goals list a little different than just basically listing out things I want to accomplish. Now with the new year approaching, I'm going to break my list up into sections. Yet I just know I need to break things up into more bite-sized sections. Why I didn't do this before, I don't know. I just listed stuff out that I wanted to get done. And if you have a list of stuff you want to get done and some of those things are going to take a year and some things might only take 3 months, it can make the list very, very daunting and very confusing. So I'm going to make my list into sections or make some kind of piece of paper and make smaller lists on the paper where this is the 3-month things. These are the things I know I can accomplish in the next 3 months. These are things I know will probably take me about 6 months to accomplish. These are things that I know is going to take me about a year to get done. And then not just listing the goals, but listing the goal almost like we used to do an outline in high school, middle school, when you had to write a paper and the first thing you had to do was make an outline and you had to list the main thing and then what you wanted to include in that paragraph. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much like that. So I'm going to list the shortest term goal here. If it's something even in a week or a month, and then what do I need to do to accomplish that? And then the next goal, what the time frame is and what steps I need to take to accomplish that. So then I can start checking the steps off. And then when the goal is done, I can just exit completely off my list. So I feel like for me, that's going to make the most sense. Now, it's going to take me some time to do that because I'm still contemplating what goals I even have. So little by little, I know it's going to work out. It's just a matter of keeping the anxiety at bay, keeping it at check. And I've got to go back to some old school things I used to do when I used to get anxious. And I know that I need to do those things. I've just been putting them off. And I've gotten into a really lazy mode. Winter is coming. I don't do well in the winter time. I'm not really traveling at all. So most times I'm in the house. And so I'm kind of going back into this hibernating, mild depression state, and I think that's been keeping me from doing anything because I do have seasonal affective disorder as well. That's kind of part of my depression. So it's like, it's cold outside. I'm just going to stay in the house, in the bed, watch TV. We've got food here. It's warm here. All my basic needs are taken care of. I'm good. And, I just want to start saving money for some of these things on my list and check them off and finally get to a place where I can come back bigger and better and stronger than ever with some things that I want to do that aren't going to take place until the end of my list, which is the 3 and 4 and 5 year mark. I can't wait till those things happen because you guys are in for a treat when they do. Anyway, I hope you know that you're not alone in this journey. I'm here with you. You've got support here. You know, if you are someone who struggles with goals, go down in the comments and let's chat about it. If you're someone who excels at setting goals and has some tried and true tricks you can share with us, you also head down there and hit us up and let us know. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.